How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid. We continue to see weakness inside of the tech sector, and it has been pulling back alongside with it. And this is why I was saying in my previous videos, there is some put opportunities if you want to utilize it. So now going into tomorrow, considering, yes, we're going to be getting an update in regards to the Fed meeting and so forth, I want to make sure you guys are prepared. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to be taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $35.46, being down 6.07%. On the low, it tested $35.22, and then on the high, testing $37.55. And when we take a look at our volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 26.549 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 40.051 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, and of course this is why we ended up seeing a pullback in the stock along with the market conditions. Now when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 39.54. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we have strength above the 200-day, we are above the 100-day, but we are below the 21-day EMA and as well as the 50-day. So taking into consideration of what has been going down for the past 2 trading days, we've been able to have some higher lows. So what you want to see going into tomorrow is another higher low. It was able to hold up $35.22, so right above the 100-day, but if we have market weakness, it will easily break through this, get back to the $34 range. It might even end up visiting right here around $33 and as well as $32.50. Again, this is if we have market weakness. Now, if you're going to be looking forward to see it looking bullish, then of course you're going to want to see Lucid come back to reclaim, to have some strength above this 37.50 area. It ended up seeing a high of the day at 37.55, so this is why it would be key for Lucid to make that move so it can get back to 39 and then get to the 21-day EMA where it can start getting to $40, which we know would be a psychological area. But for the most part, I say as long as we have weakness inside of the market, Lucid will continue to pull back and end up visiting the $33 range sometime tomorrow. So now let's move on to the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. As we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. When we take a look at the recent filings for January the 25th, we have Fidelity Total Market Index Fund that purchased 863,400 shares. We also see Fidelity again with the Series Total Market Index Fund that purchased 536,595 shares. And then we have Fidelity Extended Market Index Fund that purchased just over 2.8 million shares. And now when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 46.72%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 9.56 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 25,000, updated 16 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 44.95. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 21st, which was last week Friday, it was at 53.15. And then for the close for the 24th, which was yesterday, it was at 46.72. So it has gone down a bit, but one thing that is very clear, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential, and this is why you're going to see a lot of volatility in the stock price. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we see here on the inflow, it was at 193, and then on the outflow, it's at 212. So we had an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, on the large, it was 10.63. On the medium, it was 85.45, and then on the small, it was 96.92. Taking a look at the outflow side, we can see on the large, it was 29.24. On the medium, it was 82.03, and then on the small it was 101. Keep in mind these numbers are in the millions. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for today, January the 25th, it being that outflow of negative 18.61 million. Wow. And then when we analyze the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. Then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying, and by a large margin. As far as for selling, we had 29.24 million, and then for inflows in regards to buying, it was at 10.63 million. So that is crazy. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 1.63%. So this is a consistent range for Lucid. It actually went down just a little bit, but one thing that we do see as far as whales are concerned, they are dumping off a lot of their shares, and this is why we are seeing a pullback into the stock. But we also can't be surprised because we have to take into consideration the tech sector as a whole, and as well as EV plays have been getting hit very hard. So now let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid in regards to the price action, if we continue to see weakness in the market in the tech sector, then don't be surprised if we start seeing the $33 area. Look out for $33.50. Breaking through this level, then this stock could easily get down to around $30. I know many of you that were looking at actually investing in Lucid, this is a lot more attractive from when you were asking me, hey Dre, should I be buying up shares in the high $40 level? I think it's going to go back to 50 and so on. This is why I say you don't need to FOMO. If you want to look for a bullish reversal in this stock, then of course you're going to want to see it get back above $37.50, but most preferably the $39 area, because at least you know if it can get comfortable at that $39 area, so you have a lot of buying interest there, then the stock can go to around 40. But with the sentiment that we have going on inside of the market, and with a lot of plays pulling back in the tech sector, I see more weakness ahead for Lucid overall in general, and of course this is my personal opinion. Unless the market decides to turn around, maybe we get some news from Jerome Powell that is great for the markets, then we might end up seeing a big strong push. But I still see there's more pullbacks ahead, especially going into a higher interest rate environment. They're going to have to hike rates at some point, and we are expecting to get that in March. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential, and we do see that institutions are continuing to load up on shares from the filings that we saw. So again, if you are bullish on Lucid, I'm bullish myself. I do believe in the potential of the company, but we also have to understand they are not profitable as of yet. They have just started. So again, if you're going to be buying into this stock, maybe you got in at a higher price. When the stock pulls back, you should be even more excited to add to your position if you have high conviction. You shouldn't be worried. You shouldn't be concerned. And if you are, then you shouldn't have made an investment in the company in the first place. You just wanted to ride the rally to see how high it can go without thinking about the downward pressure. And again, this is one thing that I want to make sure I make it very clear, because you don't need to be making the same mistakes that you made in the past. So going into tomorrow, it's definitely going to be an interesting day. You guys know I'm going to be trading it, and if you want to get some more help in regards to trading Lucid, then jump inside of the Discord. The link is inside the description. We'll be happy to have you a part of the family. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.